If you want to write it down, although I'm recording, write it down. Steps to solve the question. Step number 1, slow down. Slow down. Especially if your English is okay and everyone knows his English is okay. You can speak English fluently. Slow down. Slow down and read the last line. Especially if the question is three-liner, read the last line first. Two things. First, slow down. Now you may say, sir, time is running out. How can I slow down? I respect that. If you don't slow down, you have to read question 5 times or 4 times. If you slow down, actually you can read, you can picture what is being asked in the question. We think in a picture, 90% of the people. So we can actually see what is happening in the question. Second thing, read the last line first. Mostly last line says, what should the project manager do next? What has been done? What can be done? Things like that. Okay, that is in there. Third thing, try to identify, are you in initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, or closing? Where are you in the project? Fourth, every single question have one problem minimum that you are trying to solve. Identify the problem. How you identify the problem? You identify the keywords. Every question will have keywords. You need to identify the problem. If you can identify the problem, you can solve it. Then use elimination technique to solve the questions. What do I mean by elimination technique? Let's say you read the option A and you think option A is the answer. You immediately select option A. No. You cannot do that. You mark the option A, then go to option B. If you think option B is the wrong answer, you must have justification. Why? You must have justification. Why? Option C. You go to the option C. You again think this can be the answer. Mark it. Now we have two answers. A is. Then you go to the D. You must have justification why D is not the answer. Justification is important. If you don't have justification, you don't know this. Now let's say this happens a lot. You are left with two options, option A, option C. Now go with the answer that match your knowledge, or last thing, go with your hunch. If your knowledge is okay and you are confused, go with the hunch, whatever the answer says. Now that's how to solve the question. The next step is more important. How to do lesson learning. Once the question is solved, you have done all the question. Now review those questions. Review those questions to see what are the right answer and what are the wrong answer. Look at every option and see why. When you are doing the lesson learn, after doing the questions, do the lesson learn, why I choose this option, why this was right, why this was wrong. Put it in the Excel file. Make an Excel lesson learn register. This will be hard. You will be tempted not to do, but I request you do. Maybe few topics will take more time, but at the end of the day, it will decrease your overall PMP journey. If you don't do the root cause analysis, you will keep doing the question and will keep getting them wrong. Root cause analysis and lesson learn is the most important thing. Am I clear to everyone? Anyone can put all the steps and put in the chat box. What are the steps I share? Steps to solve the questions. And again, there is no one right way to solve the question. There can be multiple questions, multiple ways. Let's solve those questions. First question I'll solve, then I'll ask you one by one, or if anyone is volunteer to they can solve the question. Okay, so normally you have 70 seconds to solve the question. Step 1, slow down. Okay. Step 2, read the last line. What? Okay, there is my pen. Yeah. What constraint? Constraint means, now this is a keyword. Identify the keyword. What constraint, limitation you will be operating under in terms of hiring additional staff. So last line says that what you are trying to do, what you are trying to, this is the problem in the question. What you are trying to do, you want to hire more staff. You want to hire more staff. What will be limiting you? Constraint means limiting you, problematic to you. Let's read the question now. Now you read the last line, now the question. You are working, okay, as a part-time manager. Where? Keyword, weak matrix organization. Now we know that in weak matrix, project manager does not have power. The keyword tells us functional manager has power. We know that this is the weak matrix. So this is a keyword, very important keyword. Your functional manager, who will have power here, adds to your workload by declaring to you project manager. You are doing something, he was your boss, he gave you another work, now you are also managing project. After reviewing the business case, you look at the business case, you understand new person will need to be hired. So we have identified the problem, we need to hire the person. Keyword, we are working in the weak matrix. Where are we? We are in initiation or pre-initiation. Since you are reviewing the business case, this is initiation or pre-initiation, right? What I just said, if anything is not clear to anyone, please ask. This is important. Okay. So now I'm going to use elimination technique. I'll go to option number A. The functional manager will be responsible for hiring staff. Yes, that can be the answer. Why? Why? You must have justification. Because functional manager is responsible in weak matrix. I'm not going to select the answer. I'm going to mark it, review the remaining option. All stakeholders. No, 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 no. We know that either project manager is responsible or functional manager, or both share the responsibility in balance. So this is eliminated. Senior management. No, no, no. Senior management is never responsible. You as the project manager would be responsible. If it was a strong matrix or projectized, project manager would be responsible. Here he is not responsible. So my final answer would be option A. It took me 3 to 4 minutes to solve the question. It may take you more time in the start to solve the question. It does not matter. In the start, time does not matter. Give as much time as you can to do this thing. This is very, very, very important that you do the detailed root cause analysis. That is very critical that you work into that, identify each and everything. Now, how to make lesson learn register? Many students ask me how to make the lesson learn register. Basit, I can share yours now. That's why I asked. I can share your lesson learn register. No?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So one of the simplest way, first I will tell you the simplest way, then a little bit hard way. Okay. The simplest way, I am gonna create a lesson learn register in front of you. How you can make minimum, it should have this thing. Okay. Where is my, yeah. So topic, for every sheet, you type that name topic. It is fundamental. Okay. You put the question number, okay. And if you want to write the question, you can copy paste. No need to write the question also. Okay. Lesson learned. What did you learn? Now, from this question, what I learned, for the For the weak matrix, functional manager is responsible. Also, for strong matrix and projectized, PM is responsible. I'm writing in short form so that just give you that. This is one way, simplest way. At least don't copy paste the question. Don't do anything because you have the sheet with you. You can put it there. At least put the lesson learned there. This is one way and the simplest. The one he uses, I really like his RCA. So this is, you can see his RCA. He put the question also. He put the answer. He put his result. Then he put the remarks. What was the reason? What was not the reason? That is also good. One of the student even did a better than this one. He put the question and then he justify each option in the lesson learned. Why A was wrong, why B was wrong, why C was wrong, why D was wrong. That's also okay. But you should do minimum of that. Please don't do lesson learned on paper. You cannot review it. This lesson learned will become something. If you ask me after 5 topics why I'm not increasing the score, I'll ask you to review your lesson, and that will be a key factor. That will be a key factor. That will be a. So any questions so far, guys, please ask. This is the real thing. So when you do lesson learn, there are 2 to 3 things that you will find. You lack knowledge. That is the first thing. We cover the topic, and there will be a lot of things that we did not cover in the topic. That for that lesson learn is important. There will be a lot of things because no one book can cover entire things. No one course can cover. That's why lesson learns are there. But if you do lesson learn, every single student pass. 99.8% success rate only for one reason. I push every student to do the lesson. I push and request every student to the lesson learn. Yes, Tamur.
Sir, when this is while giving the exam, you are saying we have an Excel sheet prepared on the side and then write down our thoughts
Yeah,
of
let
evaluating.
me rephrase it. Step number 1, I'm gonna give you questions 2 ways. I'm gonna give you Google form. Every topic question will be on Google form as well as PPT files. Both I will give you. Step number 1, you will do question on Google form. On laptop, not on mobile. On laptop, not on mobile. Why? Because your exam will be on a 24-inch screen, the big one. If you do on mobile, you will not be set. So you do questions on there. Then step number 1, then you review your question. Now you will make Excel file. When you are reviewing your question, you will have an answer sheet with you and you will review it. But please, Basit, please open answer sheet only once you are done with the question. Yes, go ahead, ask.
Sir, I have a question like, so I have got like 2, 3 topics, and it still feel like when interrelating few things, it gives confusion.
It will,
Okay.
once you go through all 13 topics, then things will start coming. Rania, she cannot speak here, some issues with voice. She had the same thing, like you are doing one topic, other topics will have here. Like you are doing stakeholder questions from scope will be there, risk will be there. Because PMP is interlinked, na? We are doing one topic at a time. So once you are doing one topic at a time, these things will come. So that's a normal thing. That's entirely normal. Okay.
And the sir, and the key and the questions what we are getting like for stakeholders or agile. So it's a mix of everything, right?
All the topics will be mix of everything. So that is
Okay.
why lesson learn is important. But
Sure.
still, without that knowledge, you can get 70% in every topic. Less
Of
than
course.
that, once you ask me what is a good score, 65% plus. 70% is good, 65% plus. Okay,
Sure.
let's solve the next question. Okay, any volunteer who would like to solve the next question? Anyone who want to solve the next question? Okay, Shashank, please. If you don't raise your hand, I'm gonna ask you anyway. Shashank, please solve. Yes.
Yeah. how should the project manager apply the hybrid life cycle for this project? The like hybrid life cycle, you can understand that it is a mixture of it's a mixture of
It's a mixture of what?
the predictive and agile.
Try to speak it from your mind, na. Let's
Audible?
No, sir. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, yes. Can't you hear me?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
by hybrid life cycle, we understand it is a mixture of predictive and agile.
Okay.
And yeah, the next now we'll go through the question. A project manager has just taken over a project, so it is in the initial stage to develop a product using a hybrid life cycle. With this project, the hardware has fixed requirements while the software requirements are still evolving. Okay, how should the project manager apply the hybrid life cycle for this project? So it's basically it's in the initial stage. It has both hardware as well as software requirements, whereas hardware requirements are fixed and software requirements are still evolving. So if we can go through the options. The first option says that develop the hardware with the predictive life cycle and use an adaptive life cycle for the software. Okay.
Yeah,
And
this is the answer or no?
predictive life cycle and adaptive life cycle, but the predictive.
No. Shank, from memory, not from notes.
Yeah, the one second. But in adaptive, there are 3 life cycles. So I think this is not the option.
Okay.
Yeah. So the second option is but the hardware and software should have their scope defined iteratively. Again, I don't think so. This is the option. Develop the software with the predictive life cycle and use an adaptive life cycle for the hardware. Develop the software with a predictive life cycle and use an adaptive life cycle for the hardware. Again, hybrid is only with the agile and the.
Let me help you in this thing.
Yeah.
Adaptive means it can be iterative, it can be incremental, it can be
agile.
It can be any of these 3. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Develop the software with predictive life cycles and use adaptive life cycle for the hardware. So I think the first option.
Now you think the first option.
Yeah, because the predictive as for the hardware.
The answer is right. The answer is right.
Yeah.
First of all, the answer is right. Let me calm you. Second, this is not the elimination technique. Why? You did not eliminate option C and option D. This is very critical mistake. Okay. The problem with you was knowledge gap. As soon as I explained you this, once I do lesson learn of you, that the problem was knowledge gap. Knowledge was okay. That can be recovered. Method cannot. Don't violate the method. Use it just when you were learning how to drive a car. First turn this on, then this gear. Don't go to gear 4 immediately. You will strike someone. Elimination technique. 2 things. If you don't use anything, 2 things. Slow down. Elimination technique. And then do the root cause. You will be good to go. Okay? A is the right option. But you need to get a lesson learned why other options are wrong. Okay, yeah, Rania, you are 100% right. I really like, guys, other people put the answer in the chat box. What you are thinking, put the answer in the chat box. Okay, Jamil, let's play with you. You gave the right answer, so now this is your turn. Yeah, unmute your brothers. Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, all right. Um, the team members are expected to do the
What
project
was the
work
first step?
along with the
What was
department.
the first? What was the first step? What was the first step?
What you are working in which form of organization,
The first step
right?
was to read the last line.
Yeah,
You did not read the last line. You ran away.
okay. You are the project manager of a project in which the team members have a dual reporting structure. Okay. In addition to reporting to you, they also report to the functional manager. Also, the team members are expected to do project work along with the department work. So you're working in which form of organization? Basically, if you are a project manager and you're having a functional manager, you're definitely working in a functional organization, right? So project number one, projectized organization is wrong. Okay, because this is a very clear definition of, like, people are expected to do project work and department work. Okay, so matrix organize, so this will be the, yeah, so then this, in a matrix organization, uh, I mean, again, both of them are having equal responsibilities, right?
And
Hello.
and I'm
Yeah.
listening to you. You are solving. I'm just listening
Okay.
to you.
Yeah. So then if I'm the PM and we are doing the dual reporting structure, this will be the matrix organization. In a tight matrix, I do not know about tight matrix.
So what you don't
So
know,
this
that is
is
wrong.
something.
That is wrong. So your answer changed when you saw the options everyone was putting.
B, the options are will be between B and C.
Okay.
Okay. So then in addition to reporting. So then I would go with the matrix organization.
Okay. So just to put the lesson learn you will put on the Excel file how to put the lesson learn. Now in this, there are 4 lesson learn. You will put that in projectized. We have a single reporting structure, project manager. Functional, single reporting structure, functional manager. Matrix, you have dual reporting structure, both project manager and functional manager. Any matrix organization, you have dual reporting structure, weak, balanced, and strong. But balance has more thing. Your answer is right, matrix. Okay, guys, from now, please put the answer directly to me. There's an option you can send direct message to me because let me stop recording. Next. Yes, Basi?
Okay. What is the tight matrix?
Nothing.
The
Just
it's just a confusion.
distractor. There was a tight
Okay.
matrix actually in the previous PMP content, but they have removed it. That's not relevant. Vivek, you are up.
Yeah, sure.
It's a very interesting question. This one is very interesting.
It's just a one-liner. Which of the following business documents justify why project is authorized? So it's asking about the business documents and why the project is authorized. Okay.
Umar, send
Since
answer
it is
directly to
talking,
me.
yeah, since it is saying about this authorization, right? Why project is authorized? It can't be the scope of work. It talks about, I'm sorry, the scope statement of work that is eliminated. Project management plan, it talks about the project overall, right? So that can also be removed.
Which one?
The second one can be removed. That's
Okay.
not the answer. Either it should be C or D, project charter or the business case. When it comes to project charter, it's nothing but like it has all the business need and the timeline, sponsor, and all those things, right? So our project is authorized. It should be the business case, right? Why we are choosing a particular project, right? So D should be the right answer.
Your answer is right, but your justification is interesting. Your answer is right. There are only two business documents in the PMP: business case and benefit management plan. Authorize, why it is authorization actually happens because of project charter, but project charter is not a business document. The question categorically said business document. There are only two business document, business case, and then of course it can also authorize. Very well done, Vivek. You did solve the question. You did solve the question. Very well done. Sometime now again the lesson learned you can put. This is the justification document. Vasi, you are up. Next question. And it's the last question for this topic. Vasi? Vasi, say it,
Yeah.
please.
So it's again a single liner. What is the difference between a predictive life cycle and an adaptive life cycle? Well, the answers are predictive life cycle is plan driven, adaptive life cycle is change driven. There is no difference, and the predictive follows the same pattern for each iteration, and adaptive lifecycle changes approach based upon the performance growth of the project results. And the final one is predictive life cycle forecast project completion. Adaptive life cycle completes the project when the money runs out. So in terms of elimination, the last one doesn't look right at all, as per the theories what we studied. And the predictive life cycle and adaptive predictive life cycle is plan driven. Is the answer number one, because there is definitely a difference. So answer number B cannot be true, and the third one also doesn't look like right, because the predictive follows the same pattern for each iteration, and the adaptive life cycle changes its approach based upon the performance growth of the project results. So it's answer number 3 and 4 looks like they are just distraction, and so there cannot be the right answers. I think answer number 1 is the right one.
Yeah, A is the answer. B is a very good option. C is a very good option. Predictive follow the same pattern, but it does not have iteration. And secondly, adaptive does not change based on the growth. Adaptive has other things to change. This is the definition. Predictive is plan driven and adaptive is change driven. So I hope you guys have fun solving question answers, and this is just the start of the game. If anyone has any confusion about the question answer, Hamid, it's okay to get the wrong answer.